Mico is the newest mythic brawler coming to the game, and everyone can get him for free during the Brawler days. Now, he completes the Brawlywood trio with Lola and Gray, and he's very full of himself and pretends that he's a really famous celebrity, while he's actually just in charge of holding the boom mic. Apparently, he also has a short temper, and his brawler description specifically says to never joke around with him because he cannot take a joke. Surprisingly, his title is Am I a Joke to You? Now, I said that his name is Mico, and I'm gonna call him Mico, but there's a chance that his name is actually Mico, and he does say something about a mic-o in one of his voice lines. Also, it could be mic like microphone. I don't know.
Yeah, this is just a side gig. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. I'm going bananas.
Now, Mico's main attack is Mic Boom. Mico lunges forward and slams onto the ground, dealing damage to everything around him. Now, he actually does jump into the air with every single attack, which means that he cannot be hit by anything in the middle of the attack. So he can jump over projectiles, he can jump over walls or water. It's a really simple attack, but it also might make him the most fun brawler in the game, or the most toxic. Mico's super is Out of Frame. Now, if Mico's attack isn't exciting enough for you, his super is even better. He literally jumps out of the screen, and then instead of controlling him, you actually control the target that appears on the map with your left joystick. You can basically move it wherever you want to, and it slowly gets bigger and bigger while he's in the air. While Mico is in the air, he is untouchable for about 6 seconds until he slams back onto the ground and deals some solid damage to everything in the target's radius, and also knocks them back. Now, he does heal and reload while he's in the air, so he's always going to come back down with full ammo and at least most of his health, which is kind of insane. Even though this attack really makes an impact, it actually doesn't break any walls or grass, and you're gonna want to be careful when you activate this super, because it does take a few seconds for him to actually jump into the air, and if he dies during those few seconds, the super will be completely wasted. Mico's first gadget is Clipping Scream. Mico screams at the nearest target, and 3 projectiles are shot in a narrow fan shape, very similar to Crow's main attack. Now, each projectile does 545 damage and slows the target down for 2 seconds. And based off of other stuns in the game, that's balanced, but it's pretty good. Mico's second gadget is Presto. This gadget simply adds 34% range to his next main attack. It doesn't increase the damage, it doesn't increase the time that he's in the air or anything else, just the range. This is kind of like Mortis's long dash, right? Except, it's a gadget. Mico's first star power is Monkey Business. Every 5 seconds, the bar below Mico's ammo bar will fill up. When it's full, Mico's next attack will steal an ammo bar from each target that it hits. And yes, he can steal ammo from multiple targets. So if he hits 3 enemies with the attack, all of his ammo will instantly be replenished, even if he was completely out of ammo before the attack. This is going to make for some very interesting combos. Mico's second star power is Record Smash. This star power doubles the damage that he deals to everything that is not a brawler. Now, that goes for turrets, porters, bears, clones, and much more. Now, this ability affects his main attack and his super, so this is going to be a very hard counter to certain brawlers that spawn a lot of enemies. Mico's Hypercharge is Sound Check. If Mico uses his super while hypercharged, anything that's hit by his attack will not only be knocked out, it will also be stunned for 1.5 seconds. Now, on top of that, his hypercharge also gives him a 20% speed boost, 25% damage boost, and a 25% boost to his shield. Now it's time to put Mico up against every brawler in the Brawl Stars Olympics, starting with his worst test and moving up to his best. First up, we have the Supercharge test. Now, it takes Mico 5 whole hits for him to charge up his super. He can hit multiple enemies with a single attack, so it can charge faster, but against a single target, it takes him 9 whole seconds to charge it. That puts him in dead last, 74th place out of all the brawlers in the game. Next is the reload test. Now, Mico's first star power instantly refills an ammo bar with each attack every 5 seconds, so he instantly reloads 3 ammo throughout the test. He unloads and reloads 10 shots in 26.1 seconds and gets 73rd place, but I do want to mention that he does have the slowest reload speed in the game, even though he did beat Chuck in this test. Next, we have the area test. Mico's attacks only cover a 9-tile radius, and his super breaks 17 skulls. His gadget has to have a target within range to activate it, so he's unable to use it for this test. He breaks a total of 26 skulls and ties with Ash for 66th place, which suggests he's not going to be that great at area control. Next, we have the attack range test. Mico can jump about 3 1/3 tiles, and then the impact has a radius of 1 1/3 tiles, which adds up to 5 tiles exactly. That ties him with Bull and Ash for 66th place. He does not have a great range. Next is the survival test. Unfortunately, brawlers are not allowed to dodge the sniper bot attacks because if Mico could, he would survive for a very long time. Instead, he survived for 15.2 seconds, which ties him with Ruffs for 59th place. Next is the boss test. Mico's reload speed is really slow, so it takes him a while to charge up his first super, and even though his super does take a while to use, it is worth it for him to use in the long run because he reloads ammo while he's in the air, so he doesn't actually lose that time. He also gets a little extra help from his first gadget. Mico defeats the boss in 56.1 seconds and gets 55th place. Next is the swarm test. Now Mico doesn't need his second star power to one-shot the swarm bots, so he uses the extra help from his first star power instead. He also saves a little bit of time by not using his super since he's up in the air for such a long time. It still takes him 8.2 seconds to clear the swarm, so he ties with Gray for 49th place, and this suggests he's probably not going to be super great at dealing with multiple enemies at once. For the rest of the test, Mico is better than half of the brawlers in the game, and we'll start off with the super damage test. Mico will only deal 2,380 damage with his super on enemy brawlers, but in this test, it deals 4,760 damage because of his second star power, so he gets a little bit of a cheat and gets 19th place. Next is the auto aim test. Mico's able to hit Nita at his max range, which means that he will be able to successfully auto aim against enemies with normal movement speeds as long as they are within range, which is kind of insane. Just auto aim with him the entire time. He deals 2,180 damage from 6 tiles away and gets 18th place. Next, we have the 1 second DPS test. Mico's able to hit the boss with his super, 1 attack, and 1 gadget all within a second. With his second star power doubling all of that damage, it totals to 12,390 damage, which might not be relevant against actual brawlers, but it is still pretty effective. He gets 18th place. Next, we have the assassin test. With his second star power dealing double the damage, Mico hits the boss with his super and 3 attacks. Now, he isn't quite able to get a gadget off in time, but he's still able to deal a total of 17,840 damage in those 3 seconds, and that puts him in 13th place overall. Next, we have the race test. Now, Mico has a very fast movement speed, but he doesn't actually use that at all in this test. He activates his super right from the start and his gadget before he leaps into the air. His super gets him over halfway across the map, and it only takes 2 more jumps across the finish line. Now, Mico finishes the race test in 8.9 seconds, and that ties him with Fang and Crow for 10th place, which is pretty fun. Next, we have the 3 attack kill test. Now, without Mico's second star power and against all brawlers, Mico deals 2,180 damage with each attack. So 3 of those add up to 6,540 damage, which is enough to take out 33 of the brawlers in the game. But since this test is done against the boss, Mico's damage is doubled, which makes it 13,080. That puts him in 7th place overall, which is pretty crazy. He's got a little bit of an unfair advantage in this, but it's fine. Next, we have the super range test. Mico can travel more than the width of the entire training cave with his super, so we had to move to my favorite special map to measure. He was able to travel 21 tiles in the air, and the radius gives him an additional 2 tiles for a total of 23 tiles. That gives him the 7th longest super range in the game. Next, we have the splash test. Now, it took some very precise aiming, but Mico is able to break open enough boxes with his first 2 ammo that after collecting the power cubes, he breaks the rest open with only his 3rd ammo. He completes the splash test in 3.9 seconds and gets 7th place. And finally, we have the box test. Mico's second star power allows him to destroy boxes in just 2 hits before collecting any power cubes. Once he's powered up though, he's able to destroy groups of boxes with only 1 attack. He completes the box test in 25.9 seconds. That puts him in 6th place and does suggest he's going to be pretty good at ramping up in damage in solo showdown. So the real question is, how strong is Mico going to be? Let's talk about gem grab first of all, and I think he's going to be S tier. I don't think that Mico is going to be the best brawler for holding gems throughout the match or even maintaining control of the map. But that being said, his ability to assassinate an enemy gem carrier and use his attacks or his super to escape with the gems is going to allow him to turn lots of games around. The fact that he can hold gems the entire time he's using his super means that he can escape way easier than pretty much any other brawler in the game because he's got those 6 seconds to just run away, which is just kind of crazy. It's kind of like Janet with her super. I'm giving him S tier for gem grab. For Brawl Ball, that could would be his best game mode. I think his super is going to be used to super shot the ball more often than not, because if he can get the ball up the field past the enemies, he can just use his attacks to move up past everybody and easily score. On the flip side of that though, it's going to be really hard to beat him back to his own goal, so it's going to be really hard to get some sneaky goals against him. S tier for Brawl Ball as well. As for Heist, I'm going to go with B tier. His reload speed is really slow, and he just does not deal a lot of damage over time. It's really kind of bad, actually. I would probably rank him a little bit lower if it weren't for the fact that his second star power actually does work on the safe, so all of his attacks deal double their damage to it, and he can use his super to, like, just cross the map and get right up to the safe, which is pretty crazy. With all things considered, I think he's going to be B tier. As for Wipeout, I don't think that Mico's going to have any trouble getting kills in Wipeout, but the only reason I wouldn't put him in the S tier is because if he runs out of ammo while attacking enemies, he's really easy to kill. But with his super being able to travel as far as it does, I could see him making some clutches and honestly some last second plays, so I do think he's worth the A tier for Wipeout. Next, we got Hot Zone. Mico may not be the best brawler at keeping control of a zone by himself, but he's going to be great at getting enemies out of the zone. His super will not only be great for moving enemies out of an area, but it can also be used just to get Mico into a better position on the map, which does make a big difference even if it's not in the zone. So I do think A tier is warranted for Mico in Hot Zone. Next, we got Knockout. Mico's whole build makes him a good assassin, pretty much against most brawlers, right? Especially on maps with bushes for him to hide in and walls for him to jump over. Even against brawlers with the longest range in the game, his super is going to be plenty for him to get close enough to pretty much any brawler in the game, which is why I'm giving him S tier for Knockout. As for Solo Showdown, I'm going to go with S tier as well. One very important thing that makes him great for Showdown, and Knockout as well, is that if Mico's using his super, he does not take damage from the smoke. As soon as the smoke closes in enough, Mico can easily buy himself 6 extra seconds, and then he'll come crashing down on anybody that's still alive, and that whole time he will have regained some HP and ammo, and that can also knock them back into the smoke when he lands. Mico absolutely deserves S tier in Solo Showdown, plus he can use his second star power to be able to break open those boxes faster. And I don't think it's a very different story in Duo Showdown. Mico's attack and super are both AoE attacks, which are always good in Duo Showdown. I should also re-emphasize how good Mico is at breaking boxes, so I think Mico is going to be S tier for Showdown, whether it's Duo or Solo Showdown. Either way, I want to know what you guys think about Mico, and let me know whether you think his name is pronounced Mico or not. I don't know. Drop a comment in the section below. Make sure you subscribe for future content on Kit and Larry and Laurie as well.
Kaboom, Mike! Oh, I am way too talented for this schmuckerini. Telling you, I'm always the one sorting out the mess here. Yeah, got your guts on tape. Louder, mister. I'm recording your screams. Oh, please, with the screaming. We all knew the risks. Ha ha! I'm the champ, baby! And the Oscar goes to... I'm gonna be a star for sure! I'm #1, baby! Top of the world! The world and everything in it! Ain't no monkeying around over here! Whoa, that was primal. Countdown to chaos! Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. This is just a side gig. Hello, my good fellas. Whoa, time for some whack-a-noodle. I'm going bananas! Mico drop moment! Not so tough now, are you, Weisenheimers? Primate power! Boom, baboon! Yeah, go ahead, just keep laughing. What am I, a joke to you? I'm a chimp, I jump around on a monkey bus, yeah, huh? I think there's some monkey business going on around here. Bye-bye, I'm going up to the big jungle gym in the sky. Oh, easy, knucklehead. Hey, easy, fella. Oh, back off. All right, that's it. Enough monkeying around. Yeah.